Welcome everybody to episode 22 of Katawa Shoujo with me, Burning Oil. Yeah, we just had like a date and then we slept together and then we were trying to run away from the security guards and then we got breakfast with Lily and then, yeah. Anyway, let's get straight back into it. It's still a morning's reverie. I stretch as Lily and I make our way outside, the bright morning sun beaming down on us. By now a few students can be seen doing the same, making their way to the main school building either from the dorms or through the main gate. It does feel nice and warm. Our hands linked and her cane tapping the ground, we begin our earnest trip to the school building, enjoying the chatting throngs of students around us. This would be the last day of exams, no? Yeah, how are you going in them? Fairly well. It's all things considered. She seems... Oh, you seem a bit stressed by them, though. Not bad. It's that obvious, huh? I don't think it's just the exams, though. A lot of stuff's been happening in a short amount of time. They're not doing that well on the humanities subjects. You're doing well in science, though, aren't you? Well, it would be hard not to do well in science for me, come to think of it. Didn't you say before that you weren't very good at science and math? Didn't you say before that you weren't good at science and math? He suddenly looks very sheepish, my remark no doubt hitting home. Lily's sense of pride really can be a double-edged sword. Well, aside from that, have you ever given thought to what you might do with that ability? Seems a pity to waste it. A bit, mostly at Mutu's prompting. In any case, I'll probably end up doing science as a career in some form. That's good to hear, Hisao. Ooh. As we enter the gardens, I suddenly receive an unsolicited pat on the back. The green dress culprit dances around to meet me. Oh, Kenji. Not paying any heed to Lily at my side. Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. Hey, just been busy lately with exams and stuff. Exams, exams. A true Renaissance man needs no study to excel in such things. Kenji does strike me as the kind of person that does well in school, even if he has a horrid attendance record and poor work ethic. So I've little reason to doubt his ability. To be honest, I'm a little envious of him. Between studying for exams and my time with Lily, I've had practically no time to myself. Maybe this is a bit like how Yuko feels. Good morning, Situ. It's good to hear you're doing well. Feels slightly odd to see Lily speaking so formally. She's come to address me more casually over the months, though I have seen her speak more formally to classmates from time to time as well. Some people never change, I guess. Not that I'd say her calm and polite manner is a bad thing. It was one of the reasons I liked being around her to begin with, after all. Kenji seems to take a moment to work out who it is beside me, and probably hasn't noticed us holding hands either. I wonder if those glasses of his actually do anything. Oh, hey Lily, good luck on your exams too! I'll see you after school then, man! The slight edge to his voice makes me think those words are meant to be an imperative rather than a casual farewell. I guess I'll have to smooth things over later. Sure, see ya. Kenji nods curtly. He moves to pass us by. But he's too busy glaring in Lily's general direction to take notice of a cane. Before I can try to react and save the situation, Kenji trips and reflexively reaches out for a handhold. Unfortunately, said handhold turns out to be Lily's arm. Oh god. Whoa! Ah! Both fall to the ground in a sprawling heap with me left feeling rather helpless. Oh, damn, are you two okay? Kenji quickly rises back up, seemingly unfazed by the accident. No problem, man, no problem. This is nothing. My body can take so much abuse. Then he lies face down on the grass. She doesn't look hurt by the incident, more startled than anything. I move closer to offer her my help. Are you alright, Lily? Hey, Situ. Kenji offers her hand, tentatively touching hers to let her know what he's doing. He says some odious things sometimes, but I do think he may be a genuinely good person at heart. I imagine he feels pretty bad about this. To his surprise and mine, though, Lily pounds on the ground with her fist without warning. Oh. Damn it! Kenji freezes, entirely caught by surprise at her outburst. I'm just as shocked. She never acted like this before, not even around Shizune. Seemingly only now remembering that there are people around her, Lily slowly climbs to her feet. Her face as she does so makes me retreat a little. I only catch a glimpse of her expression before she turns away, but it's not something I'll soon forget. She showed plenty of annoyance during her classes with Shizune, but this flash of anger was something else. There's no way this is just about this petty incident. She pauses for a moment before sighing and walking on ahead. I really don't know what to make of this. I'll talk to you later, dude. See ya. Yeah, see ya. Kenji scratches the back of his head, trying to find something to say, then shrugs and walks away, giving us a wide berth. I quickly catch up to Lily. She turns her head a little to acknowledge my presence, but nothing else. Oh, it's not our fault. God damn it. Come on. I should probably scold her for lashing out like that, but I also don't want to get into a shout match with her. She's still very obviously annoyed. In the end, I keep my mouth shut and wait for her to cool off. After a quiet walk in, we eventually reach the top of the 3rd floor stairs and junction where we part every day. I turn to Lily before she leaves. While I do like the comfortable and warm silences we usually share, this was anything but. I don't want to leave things like this. You seem quieter than usual recently. Is anything wrong? She shakes her head almost automatically, as if to dispel any notion that I need to worry about her. It's just the exams taking their toll. I'll be fine. I don't think that's the reason. I very nearly say so, but decide against it. There's no point trying to draw it out of her if she doesn't want to tell me, especially when she's in a foul mood like this. If you're sure, I'll see you later then. As I turn down the hall to go to my classroom, Lily's soft voice rings out from behind me. Hisao, yeah? She wants a kiss, dude! I'm sorry. Oh. With that, Lily makes off down the hallway to her own classroom, hand skating along the metal railings. Stand still and watch her till she turns into a classroom and out of sight, or going to my own class with a fair measure of reluctance. As usual, I'm early. Mutu is fiddling with folders and papers on his desk as he prepares for the day while a handful of students mill about, chatting away. While my feelings about Lily haven't dissipated, far from it, her mention of my exam performance did remind me that I have my own life's journey to attend to. After thinking about it, I have realized that I do genuinely want to pursue science in some form as a career, rather than it simply being the path of least resistance. Till now, though, I didn't have much of an idea of where in the field I wanted to go. Just science is a pretty broad category of jobs. Something Lily mentioned earlier focused my thoughts, something I'd only idly pondered about before. I'd not seriously considered following this specific path. I walk up to Mutu's desk, his attention too focused on preparing for the day's lessons to notice my approach. It's the same every day. Good morning. He looks up with an expression of mild surprise that's quickly replaced by his typical awkward smile. Good morning, Nakai. How can I help you? Do you mind if I ask you something? He looks down at his messy pile of books on the desk before putting down the papers in his hand and standing up with some difficulty to properly address me. That's what I'm here for, after all. Ask away. I was just wondering, what would you say is the motivation behind teaching? He thinks on this question for a few moments before responding, evidently far from having a prepared answer. If you talk to 10 different teachers, I think you'll get 10 different answers to that question. While I can only speak for myself, I'd say that I teach because, He sinks into thought again, carefully assessing the way he wishes to present his idea. Think of it this way. When you were a child, you probably played with sticks and pebbles in moving water, just such as a gutter or puddles, right? Yeah, I think a lot of people do that when they're young. Well, it's not just when they're young for some, though it does take on another form. My point is, though, that when one is doing that, they're curious about how the water will flow or be changed. Everyone, even at that young age, possesses an intense wonderment about how the world around them works, even in its smallest forms. I still feel that sense of wonderment about the universe. Even just reading about new discoveries or classic experiments gives me a renewed sense of awe at how marvelous everything is, from the farthest stars to the smallest puddle. I just hope that I can give others even a small piece of that wonderment I feel. If I can do that, even if it's just for one person, I think that I can be as happy as a teacher. I think I can be happy as a teacher. He scratches his head as he mentally reviews what he said. I feel like I understand him better now. Even if he's awkward around others, he does have a genuine want to be around them and offer them a piece of himself. of himself that he values. I like him. He's a cool character. I like the way he thinks. What Lily told me yesterday rings in my ears. I think you get on well with others. Huh. She always did say I was unusually curious. Sorry if that was a little meandering. Does it answer your question? It does, thank you. I also had another question, actually. Oh, what might that be? Do you have any college brochures or guides? It's about time I started getting some applications in. He nods and bends down to look inside his desk. As he does so, I notice that he's wearing a remarkably genuine smile. I don't think I've ever seen him act this natural around others. Perhaps this isn't Mutu, the teacher, but rather Mutu, the person. Here, if you need any more, feel free to ask. He hands me about half a dozen brochures and booklets of various colours and sizes, which I take eagerly. Yes, it will be this information which I'll use to forge my own future. I think now, after all... Whoa. Yes, it will be this information which I'll use to forge my own future. I think now, after all this time and all these trials, I can finally start to see the big picture of my life ahead of me. My body may be like this, but my mind is still very much able. Thank you. Oh. This is strange. That single thought has graced my mind a countless number of times since my life here began. Feels like an easy way to discard a troubling question, as if simply labeling something with those 3 words will make it go away, or at least not worth thinking about any further. What is that? Is that coffee? Are we looking at ourselves? My life before my heart attack feels more blurry every time I try to remember it. My mind struggles to keep up with all the events suddenly happening around me since. I hear somewhere that this is what it feels like to be left stranded in a country with only the most basic understanding of the local language. Indeed, when I think about it, that seems a marvelously apt analogy for what's happened to me. But such situations are also supposed to make you very capable of that language very fast, as you're forced to learn it in order to survive. Put another way, the situation becomes sink or swim. I wonder if I've really managed to swim after all this time. The exams are stressing me out a lot. Even though they're finally coming to an end, but I have remained in Mutu's favour, and I have some sort of direction for my future now. But I keep using that stupid, meaningless phrase. This is strange. It really is amazing how fast one comes up to accept being surrounded by people with sometimes incredibly jarring disabilities and conditions. So much so that I really wonder why I feel so much like a foreigner. It certainly isn't for lack of socialization or friends. I've come to know most of my classmates on first name terms, and I know a few others around the school. Whether they're missing an arm or a leg, the students here are just like anyone else of their age. I can navigate the halls that I once lost myself in with an ease I'd expected to ever have. Thanks to the school's logical layout, I can engage my teachers in comfortable discussion. That is a screenshot right there. You guys are taking note of all these screenshots I'm taking. I swirl around gently the tea in my cup. I swirl the tea gently in its cup. Think of what it's supposed to say. The reflected image of my face becoming distorted by the moving liquid. This is strange. I used to hate drinking tea. Maybe I'm thinking too much. The familiar sound of china rattling from a teacup touching an accompanying saucer rings out. Is something the matter? Don't worry, it's nothing. Oh, I take a long sip of the tea in front of me as the girls do. Just whiling away the time in Lily's room, sipping tea with her and Hanako. It feels familiar, almost nostalgic. So, how's your work in the newspaper club going, Hanako? I want to know too. It sounds like it would be really interesting. Hanako's face turns up at the attention placed upon her, though her smile belies the fact that she genuinely likes being the centre of interest for the two of us. It's good. I think I'm getting better at it. Naomi and a couple of her friends handle most of the jobs, getting stories and stuff. I just do the computer things like putting the stories together and getting it printed. It's nice since I can sit and concentrate. I see Lily's low-tech nature isn't shared by Hanako. While sitting in a room compiling other people's newspaper articles into documents doesn't strike me as overly outgoing, it is heartening to see her widening her circle of friends. Baby steps, I guess. It's probably a bit much to be expecting her to become a socialite like Lily. How are you finding Naomi? Heard she can be quite troublesome at times. Lily's going into her mothering mode of Hanako. Letting go of her is something she's had to learn. Hanako scratches her cheek, thinking on her answer. Naomi's nice. She's a bit loud sometimes and a bit tiring, but she's really helpful. Her friends are nice too. That's wonderful to hear, Hanako. I'm glad you found a source of such enjoyment. Lily's smile is warm and genuine, but I can sense a touch of wistfulness to it as well. Hanako seems to miss that entirely, but I don't think for a second that I'm imagining it. I suppose it's because I've slowly come to pay more and more attention to everything going on around me. With things seemingly happening faster and faster, it feels like I'll miss something if I'm not as observant as possible. With the exams, my newfound love life, trying to fit in some studying regarding my options for college and university, and my heart condition applying the brakes on everything at irritatingly random times, my brain's been in overdrive recently. It makes me appreciate the rare quiet times such as these. I guess this is why Lily came to appreciate her weekly walks to the convenience store and her tea parties with Hanako. Despite her like of being surrounded by others, it gave her a moment of peace in a chaotic and busy life. Thank God the exams are over, eh? The comment draws an earnest chuckle from both of the girls. It seems like everybody's been a lot happier since the exams ended last week. So, what are you doing for the summer holidays, Hanako? I quickly count the days in my head. Today's Monday, and school finishes on Saturday. 5 days to go, after all. I was thinking of travelling, just around a bit. There's a lot of places I want to see, and I think I have enough money to pay for the bus and train rides. Naomi and one of the other girls in the newspaper club said they might come along too. Her look indicates she's given the matter quite a lot of thought. I'm kind of surprised that she's contemplating something like this. It seems she's really become intent on striking out on her own. Is there anywhere in particular you're thinking of going? I was thinking that Kyoto sounds nice. I'll try to go to a few places though. Lily nods in approval, happy with Hanako's plans. While I cast my eyes to Lily, I refrain from asking her the same question. She's been evasive with her plans for the future for a long time now, but I never seem to get a good time to broach the subject alone with her. Every time it comes up in conversation, it feels like she's either unsure of herself or simply dodging the question. It's troubling. Be sure to call sometime when you're out and about. Gave you my number before, right? Hanako gives a quick nod, a happy smile on her face. It's strange to see how happy people seem to become when they have a goal to work towards. Yuka seems to brighten whenever her university aspirations are brought up. Now Hanako is just the same. So why do I feel this uncertainty? And why Lily too? Relationships really can be irritatingly troublesome sometimes. What time is it? Oh, it takes me a second to remember that Lily's clock doesn't have any visual feedback. Really should know, given how many times I've been in her room. Ooh. Nevertheless, I take my watch from my bag and quickly check it, the reason for her asking becoming clear. About 20 past 10, Lily curfew. Hanako rises to her feet, dusting herself off and neatening her gown after doing so. I better be going then. Good night, Lily, Hisao. Sleep well, Hanako. See you tomorrow. With that, she walks to the door and quietly makes her exit. Silence. It seems to be happening more and more between Lily and me recently. After a few seconds, I finally find something to talk about. Oh, yeah, I talked to Mutu on Friday. Finally checked out some guides on college and how to apply for it. That's good news. You're going to be applying for colleges. I assume you have some idea in mind of what you might do in the future. I think I've settled on becoming a science teacher. It's going to take a while to get through university and everything to be qualified, but I think it'll be worth it. Lily's face brightens considerably at the news. I suppose with her wish to become a teacher, she's delighted I'd take the same kind of path. So, you've decided on a career of teaching. I think that path suits you most excellently, Hisao. I smile and nod. This time, even if I know she can't see me doing it, I know she feels it. I imagine Mutu would have taken to the news well. That's one word for it. Hey, Lily. Yes. I know you want to be a teacher, but For a second, I wonder whether I should really ask her the question on my mind. Oh, but that's quickly brushed aside by the fact that this is rather late to have... This is rather late to have second thoughts. Surely you don't think I'd be offended by something regarding my blindness? Her accusing tone is betrayed by a grinning face, amused at my awkwardness in raising the topic. Some things never change. Good point, I guess. I was just thinking whether or not being blind would be a hindrance. What with your ambition to become a teacher and all. She looks mildly surprised before giving the question some thought. I refuse to think she's never actually pondered this issue before. I wonder, Hisao, could you close your eyes for a moment? Okay. Raising an eyebrow, I do as she requests. I know what she's going to do. I have no idea what she has in mind, and my questions only increase as I peek out from one eye. Taking the black ribbon she usually wears in her hair from the cabinet beside her bed, she advances towards me while running it through her fingers to remove any stray hairs remaining on the piece of cloth. I suddenly click on to her intentions as I feel the black strip make contact with my face, wrapping around my eyes and head and over my eyes. What exactly is this for? It's a little test, Hisao. Since you seem to be wondering, I'll let you see things as I do for a time. Huh. So that's what this is all about. To be honest, this actually sounds quite fun. Childish and rather silly to anyone who will be watching, but a bit of silly fun never hurt anyone. I stand up with a heave, my hands quickly moving out in front of me to warn me of any obstacles. Okay, now what? Now touch me. If you say so, now then... I slowly make my way forwards towards the sound of Lily's voice. My walking speed could barely even be called a shuffle, the entire experience feeling alien enough that I don't want to risk inadvertently tripping over anything, such as her table or her haphazard piles of books. Something soft yet solid brushes against my left leg. Further inspection reveals it to be Lily's bed. I move onwards, finding myself thankful that Lily's room is so neat and tidy. Even the piles of books that she has are genuinely kept quite close to the wall, well out of harm's way. The hard wall pressing against my outstretched hands makes me furrow my brow in frustration. Hey, Lily, where are you? What are you doing over there? I'm over here. Lily's voice comes from the other side of the room, far from where it was before, even to my untrained ears. If she's going out of her way to avoid me reaching her, then is this just a game to her? Of course it is. Compared to a life where even the concept of sight is an abstract one, a few minutes in a blindfold are nothing. If she's made a point, she's more than capable of navigating her room and further. I've seen how independent she is, even when compared to many of the others in Yamaku. Well, even if this is just a game, I might as well play it wholeheartedly. With a pace much quicker than before, I move towards the source of her voice, deftly sidestepping the table in the center of her room, thanks to remembering its position. I've got you now! She gives an impish giggle, one just long enough to work out that she's passing just behind me. Quickly turn around to face the new The table wasn't there before. Ow, ow, ow! I slowly sit up next to the table, raising my blindfold as I rub my aching head. I give an irritated kick to the table that's just sitting in front of where I fell, utterly pointless, but the thing deserved it. Hisao? Lily's still standing, just to my side, obviously unsure of what's befallen me. Sorry, I kind of fell over. Are you hurt? My head hurts, but I think I'm okay. I think the table moved in order to trip me over. She giggles as she walks over and takes a seat beside me, her hand resting on my own. I suppose that's the end of that, then? I think so. But I also think I get the point, though I do wish it hadn't involved such a headache. Lily suddenly looks blank. Point? And I return an extraordinarily flat look. That was just for fun? I just thought it might ease you up a little about the subject. You always seem to tiptoe around it after all. In regard to teaching, sight isn't that important. There are plenty of classes taught by entirely blind students, and more than enough resources for me to learn the subject. It's as simple as that, really. I slump my shoulders and give a snort of amusement. Yeah, I understand. I guess we'll both just have to work hard to reach our goals then. What is it? With a little hesitation, Lily pushes forward her chin, closes her eyes in an unmistakable gesture. Cut! I accept gladly, our lips touching. As they do, I suddenly feel a hand snaking up my chest from underneath my shirt. The The feeling of her hand against my bare skin is enough to make my heart suddenly accelerate. So she's in that kind of mood again. Well, I'm hardly one to complain. She does genuinely like this, and even with all my medications, my libido is thankfully still intact. I lean into the kiss further, holding her hand tightly as I feel it tracing the contours on my chest. Eventually we break off from one another, the room silent, but for our breathing. Hey, Hisao. Yeah? I don't suppose you could wear the blindfold again? The tentative suggestion takes me by surprise. I suppose she wants to introduce me to sex through her eyes as well, or just wants to find out what I'll be like during the act while hampered by the blindfold. What a measure of unease tempered by curiosity. With a measure of unease tempered by pure curiosity, I do as she says and lower the blindfold over my eyes. The world becomes dark once again. But that is the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to leave it at such a crazy moment, but we are out of time. So the next episode, we're going to get into some shenanigans. Knowing Lily, though, it's probably not going to be. She's probably going to be teasing us again. She seems to love teasing us. And to be honest, I don't mind being teased by Lily. She's pretty sweet. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching today. This has been episode 22 of Katawa Shoujo. If you have any positive or negative comments to make, please let me know so I can improve my videos. Please like and share so I know that you guys are enjoying these videos, and I'll continue to make more. And if you have any recommendations for any videos or for any visual novels or games that are similar to this, please also let me know so I can get to work on them as well. We're going to be getting work on, I think, Strawberry Fields, I think it's called, soon. Alright, so watch your subscription boxes for that. Anyway, guys, I have been Al, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out.